Hello, welcome to another live stream on Master Investor Company. Glad to be here again with another valuable video on financial education. Today's topic is going to be what is the key of being wealthy. If you're new to our community, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're hearing us on our podcast, make sure you follow us and also share this content with other people if you have learned something by the end. All right, because the more people we help and the more people we empower, the more we should receive. So it's all about being generous and practicing the business principles that work in all economies. Also, I want to invite you to our website, MASTERINVESTOR.education, to learn more about our company. We're more than an investment management company. Our mission is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education made simple with lucrative opportunities to build passive income and true wealth. Okay, today is an amazing topic because we're going to be speaking about the choices that we have every single day in our lives to become wealthy. Okay, majority of people spend their entire life working hard for earned income, and they forget about what they truly want, which is total freedom. And even though freedom is all about being free, it has its price. The question is, are you willing to pay the price? So before I dive into the blog that we published yesterday, you can find it on our website. We have free resources that you can utilize today to start building passive income. So when you go to our website, you can also find courses, and if you need a live consultation, we have that available too, so that we can help you get going with your passive income and start focusing on what you need to do in order to build your asset column. Because by the end of this video, you're going to learn that number one, it starts with the choice of becoming wealthy. It's up to you how you want to be in the future, how well you will do with money. Okay, and are you willing to focus and commit and sacrifice the time to learn what you need to master in order to start building passive income? All right, so it really doesn't take money to make passive income, because if you have the right idea with the right team and you have the right systems behind, money will find you. That's why when people say they need money to make money, I cringe, because I understand that maybe they don't have the financial education necessary to create and attract money. You gotta become a magnet of money, okay? And the way we do that is by, number one, studying and educating yourself financially, okay? And then becoming more valuable to other people. Every time you enter a room, every time you're having a conversation, make sure that you are providing value, you are listening, and you're finding out what the person needs or the entity needs, and we gotta fulfill that need with a solution, all right? So, but the job number one of an entrepreneur is to raise capital, as we talk about it all the time, right? So you got to learn how to raise capital from the front end. If you're launching a business, you got to bring in customers, okay, through systems, using marketing, and also the back end, raising capital, going to the investors, going to the banks, because they're in the business of lending money. They have excess of cash flow, and they are looking for people that know what they're doing in regards to business, and they have a good idea with a good team so that they can put their money to work and multiply. So those people have excess of cash flow, therefore they're putting their money to work. That's why rule number one of our company here at Master Investor is that we work to build passive income and make money work hard for us. Because once you have excess of cash flow, now you need to start moving that capital to other places where it's going to grow, okay? And those other places are assets that produce passive income, right? And there are 5 different asset classes. We're going to be talking about that later on another video. Today we're going to tell you and explain what it takes for you to become wealthy, and it starts with a choice. So let's dive into our blog. You can find this article that we published yesterday on our website. I'm going to start right now. We all long for the freedom to choose. The problem with having unlimited options is that we have to have excess of cash flow to be able to make the options a reality in our lives. That is why money is an important subject to study and master. It is a game that we will be playing for the rest of our lives, which means that we will need money in order to live and thrive. This is why throughout history people have fought for and given their lives to the cause of freedom. This is why families will leave everything to immigrate from an oppressive country to a free one like the United States. We live in a capitalist country, and that's a beautiful thing because we have something very special in this country, and now it has become available worldwide because the internet and our technology that we have today is almost like we are a big country. It's a global economy. There are no borders. We can sell things worldwide, okay? So we have a great opportunity in our hands once you make the choice to become wealthy. This is why we celebrate great men like Martin Luther King Jr. and Gandhi. If you live in the United States, then you know that the American dream is more vivid than ever due to the technology growth around the world. In fact, today we can see a world without borders and a global economy due to the internet. We live in the best times of history where getting wealthy is an option for everyone around the world, more than any time before in history. But like most freedoms, choice can be a double-edged sword. When we are free to choose, we can make both good decisions and bad ones. Often, what separates the wealthy from the poor is the choices that they make. Financially, we have the power to choose our future, to be wealthy, poor, or middle class. Our spending habits reflect who we are and what we value. Poor people have poor spending habits. Wealthy people have wealthy spending habits. Poor people choose to be poor. Wealthy people choose to be wealthy. It may sound harsh, but in my experience, it is overwhelmingly true. If you want to be wealthy, it is important that you understand the power of choice and know how to make good financial decisions and choices. Life is a game where we can either make good choices or bad choices. I find that daily reading and applying the knowledge into one's life, it is an advantage to do better in life overall. A question we should all ask ourselves before we take on a decision is the following. Does this decision has the best interest for me now and for my future? If the answer is no, then it is best to find a better action to do and leave that one alone. Self-discipline is all about being more self-loving. Making great decisions is a skill we can all develop by thinking in the best interest of us and humanity. And never do something that you will regret tomorrow. Always think ahead, and as you go through life, you will have a great intuition that will tell you whether a choice will be in your best interest or not. That's why it's important to be in tune with your body and your mind and your spirit. Be aligned with your purpose in life, because we all have an intuition, and that intuition somehow knows what we truly want for ourselves, for others, and also it protects us from danger. So you want to be listening to your intuition, and the way to do that is to develop yourself through self-development, understanding what it takes to make great decisions, thinking before you act, listening to your intuition when it tells you not to do something, etc. Very important to have that aligned, okay? Choose to be rich every day. I want you to start thinking like the wealthy do and act like the wealthy. Most people are wealthy by choice. We choose to invest in assets and not waste our money on liabilities. At least if you don't have any assets, you shouldn't be acquiring liabilities. There's nothing wrong with having expenses and liabilities as long as you have assets that take care of the payment of those expenses and liabilities. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability. We wrote a blog about that. You can find it. I put the link inside of this blog. You go to our website, you'll be able to track back to that other blog and understand the difference between an asset and liability, which that makes the difference between a wealthy and a poor person, because usually a poor person doesn't know the difference. That's why they acquire liabilities over liabilities, and they never understand that the money game, in order to win that game, you need to acquire assets. In order to have total freedom, you need to have assets that produce passive income. Eventually you have excess of cash flow where you can make choices at will. You can bring your dreams and your ideas into reality, okay? Because it takes money to do just about everything. Thanks to our mentors and coaches, I choose to be wealthy. As a young boy, I knew all I had to do was learn to acquire assets. Most people choose to be poor. Learning how to make the decisions that will help them be rich is too much of a hassle. So instead, they will say things like they're not interested in money, they don't have to worry because they're still young, they will never be rich, their spouse handles all their finances, etc. You have heard them all, and remember that life and death is in the tongue. Learn how to control your tongue, learn how to manifest and speak greatly things of your future so that you can attract the experiences, the people, and opportunities into your life. This way of thinking robs you of two important things, right? The way that I explained about people talking, they will never be rich, etc., right? Time and learning, your most important assets. Those are the two things that type of language will rob you from, right? Your time and learning. If you speak like that, you close your mind, you're gonna be now wasting your time working hard for earning income, okay? Your entire life. There are people that's all they do. If you visit places like Walmart or any other place out there, you can see there are older people working past the age of 80. And you'll be asking yourself why that person needs to work, because they never learn how to live without a paycheck. They never focus on their passive income, okay? So it's okay if you love your job. There's nothing wrong with being an employee or self-employed, but you need to start also building passive income, because when time comes that you would like to retire and maybe you don't have any pension coming in, how are you going to live past the age of retirement, right? And so you need to think about that and start building passive income so that you can compensate when you're ready to retire. This way of thinking, like I said, robs the person. If you speak badly about yourself or your future, if you think negatively, that will just close your mind. So avoid doing that. If you want to be rich, you must stop having excuses and start having a new mindset. You must make the choice every day to invest your time into learning about money and how it works. You must choose to find great deals and assets. You must be wealthy by choice. It does not happen by accident. I choose to be rich and wealthy, and I exercise my power of choice each and every day. The game of money and wealth begins by acquiring your first cash flowing asset. This asset can be anything that produces passive income. It could be a digital or a physical asset. The important thing is that it solves a problem in a manner that is autopilot. In other words, you have a system of systems doing the selling and telling for you, and you control that, or your company controls that system. You're not going to be working in the system, you're going to be working on the system, which is a big difference. Okay? The power of choice in the brain. I often observe that people generally say one thing but do another. I was curious as to why this was the case, so over the years I have done a lot of research on the brain. For instance, I might ask a person, do you want to be wealthy? The response might be yes, but instead of doing what is required to become rich, they will often do things that instead makes them poor no wealthier, like only accumulating liabilities that takes their earned income away every month. Then they have to work harder for earned income to keep up with the liabilities. An example of this would be a man who has an investment opportunity with a great potential for return on investment and instead saves his money and passes on the investment. For many reasons, due to the lack of financial education, because remember, the more financial education you have, you can minimize risk, you can tell whether an investment is a sound or a bad investment, and you're going to have the courage to make the decision to do it whenever is the right investment, okay? They fell on the rule number 1 of a master investor, which is to acquire passive income and make capital work hard. Another example would be a woman who has a growing business that requires her to quit her job. So if you start a side hustle and now it will require you to do it full-time to take it to the next level, to go to the next level, but instead she closes her business and stays as an employee. These are decisions ruled by fear, which is what often rules our brains. What I have discovered is that those who are wealthy often have the power to control their brain, thoughts, actions, emotions, to exercise a higher level of the power of choice. To understand this, it is helpful to understand how the 3 basic parts of the brain works. I'm going to explain them to you briefly. The left brain. This part of your brain is generally accessed for reading, writing, speaking, and logic. It is the kids who do well in school that are left brain. A left brain people excel as such professions as writer, scientist, lawyer, accountant, and school teacher. The right brain. This part of your brain is generally accessed for pictures, art, music, and other things associated with creativity and imagination. Right brain the people don't always excel in school because they don't thrive in rigid environments. Designers, architects, musicians, and other creative are generally dominated by right brain thinking. Now, the subconscious brain. The subconscious brain includes the old brain, often called the primitive brain, and is most like an animal's brain. Because of this, it is the most powerful part of our brain and often the part that controls us. The subconscious brain doesn't think, it reacts, it fights, flees, or freezes. The subconscious brain also involves our intrapersonal intelligence, how we relate to others in a given situation. Because of this, interpersonal intelligence is the biggest factor in whether or not you will be successful or a failure in life, love, health, and money. The power of choice in the subconscious. Can you control the subconscious? The short answer is yes. Those with a high intrapersonal intelligence have the ability to control the subconscious brain's desire to fight, flee, or freeze. Having the intelligence required to choose the appropriate subconscious response to a given situation. This means that if they are angry, they can remain calm. If they are afraid, they can confront and overcome their fear. Most people don't have the ability to control their subconscious, and most people are ruled by the fear that lives in their subconscious. If you want to be wealthy, learning to control the subconscious mind before thinking and making decisions is vital, because it will help you make great decisions. And remember what I taught about your intuition? How do you grow it? Self-development. The more you read, the more you practice communication, the more you invest in your knowledge, the more abilities you will have in order to control your subconscious mind. The power of choice in accepting new ideas. Many people choose to follow the same old rules of money when it comes to money. Go to school, get a job, buy a house, save money, and invest in a balanced capital gain, aka portfolio of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. The problem is that those are no longer valid. Not only that, following them will make you poor. One of the keys to growing as a person and overcoming the subconscious is found in neuroplasticity. Simply put, neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to change both structurally as a result of learning. The only way this can happen is if you are open-minded to new information. When it comes to literally growing your brain, the first step is to open your mind. This is why children grow at such amazing rate mentally. They have no formed, rigid ideas. They are fully open to the world and its possibilities. If you want to be rich, you must in some ways become like a child again and be open to new ideas. Choosing to be open-minded is the first step to choosing to be wealthy. This means not following the conventional wisdom about money and instead thinking for yourself. There are many intelligent people who argue and defend when a new idea clashes with the way they think. Their intelligence is really arrogance. A truly intelligent person welcomes new ideas. The wealthy choose to listen and learn when presented with new ideas. This is why the wealthy are some of the most humble people we know. And remember, we're not greedy, because the reason we are wealthy is because we are generous. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video. It's all about becoming more generous. Learn to give more under promise and over deliver, right? And so we want to have our minds open to give to the world, give more to more people. How can I solve the problem of 1 million people with a solution, a product, something that I create and put to sell on systems that do the selling and telling for me, right? So the more people you can serve. So if you're a doctor, if you have a job today, then think about serving more people, not just the 20 patients that you're seeing. How can you create a medicine that cures a disease, for example, right? Or improves a problem in people's health, right? It's all about serving more people. The more you serve, the more wealthy you will become. Today, we can choose to be wealthy. For most people, fear of failure holds them back. Teachers use this fear of failure to motivate people in school. If you don't study hard, you won't get a good job. Bosses use it to motivate you to work hard. If you don't work long hours, you'll be fired. For many, fear is a prison that holds them back from their potential. In order to build wealth, we must confront our fears head on. Be comfortable by being uncomfortable. Expand beyond the comfort zone, because there is where we learn and grow. For example, an attorney who earned straight A's at Harvard is one of the smartest people. He wants to change, but he can't. He wants to do something new, but he's afraid of failing and not making enough money. He will say he has been an attorney for so long that he does not know what else to do. Who will pay him what he's making now? He's left-brained and controlled by his subconscious brain. The problem for this attorney and for many people is that he primarily spends their time with people who think, act, and talk like them. Remember, business is all about learning and expanding your vocabulary. So if you want to become more wealthy, you gotta speak like the rich. You gotta talk our lingo. You gotta learn new words, and that's what we're doing here at Master Investor. We're helping you improve your financial IQ through high-quality financial education, like you're listening right now. He can't stop thinking, acting, and talking like an employee, because every person and environment he engages in reinforces the mindset of an employee in his subconscious. That is why if you want to become wealthy, you must expand your business vocabulary. Just like a doctor has their own lingo, the same for a wealthy person. We also have our own lingo that shapes our reality. In order for anyone to change their mindset, they must change their vocabulary and environment. The same is true for anyone who wishes to become wealthy. That's why it's vital that you begin reading articles like the ones that we're publishing on our website, reading our ebooks, enrolling in our digital courses, because it's going to give you a broader vocabulary regarding business and investing. If you want to be an entrepreneur, start hanging out with entrepreneurs. If you want to be an inside investor, aka master investor, start hanging out with master investors. As we change our environment, we will see our mind begin to change as well, and actions with results will follow. This is a choice, and it is not an easy one. The easy choice is to continue doing what you are already doing. The hard choice is to begin the process of changing your mindset, the process of choosing to be wealthy. This starts with increasing your financial intelligence through financial education, through books, seminars, and coaches. Through these endeavors, you will find people who will help you change your mindset. And as you change your mindset, you will find it easier and easier to control your subconscious and overcome your fear. I challenge you to choose to be wealthy today. Would you accept the challenge? Make sure you subscribe, check out our free financial education community here, read our ebook, How to Build Cash Flow with the Internet, Turn Passive Income On. We have a new ebook coming out this month. We also have another ebook that is called the 10 New Rules of Money. You can find free resources on our website. If you enjoy today's topic, what is the key of being wealthy, then let me know in the comment section. Also, if you have any questions, drop it below. I'm going to come back and answer those for you. Okay? You can also see how it looks when you buy our ebook. You have over 500 pages of financial education, and it's a step-by-step guide to helping you build passive income, how to take your existing business to the next level, how to acquire more assets. If you don't have any assets, this is a great ebook as well for you to obtain for your business library. Okay, it's good for an employee, for a business owner, for a self-employed, or an inside investor. And you'll have access to a virtual office that looks just like this if you're watching us on YouTube. So you have all the chapters, and is full with financial education that will help you understand what is money and everything that you need in order to start building passive income. All right, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching and subscribing to our channel. Bye for now.